scarf coiled about her shoulders. "The girls aren't tough enough, Briony. They'll cry and fuss about their lipstick." The audience howled with laughter at this, though there were one or two hisses of disapproval as well. "I'd like to see you on a battlefield," she snapped. "You'd not hack it for a second compared to some of the brave women I interviewed for my book." There were shouts from the floor, and several men rose to their feet. One shook his fist at Briony. Jolyon himself stared at her with a pasted-on grin, for a moment lost for words. Only for a moment, though. "Thank you, Briony Wood," he pronounced with mock surprise. "I think she's just called me a coward, guys. Isn't that smashing?" Escaping into the rainy night, Briony switched on her phone to be greeted by a tattoo of alerts as the messages flew in. She opened her Twitter app with trepidation. As she read the first notifications, her eyes widened with horror. "You ugly cow. Come the war, you'll be first against the wall. Our Jolyon's tougher than any women." The third was merely a string of obscenities that brought her hand to her mouth. The phone then rang, a name she recognised. She swiped at the screen. "Aruna?" She glanced about the lonely South London back street and began to walk briskly towards the main road. "Don't look at any messages, especially not Twitter." Briony heard the panic in her friend's voice. "Too late. Oh, Aruna, why did I say it? How could I have been so stupid?" "It's not your fault. He was awful. The pits. I'm sorry I ever gave his people your name. Listen, where are you?" "Clapham. I've just left the studio." Briony turned onto the high street and startled at a trio of youths in leather jackets who swaggered, laughing, out of a brightly lit pub. They brushed past, not even seeing her. "What did you say?" "Don't faff about with public transport. Get a cab." Aruna sounded urgent. "Go straight home, then ring to tell me you're safe." Men from Jolyon's audience were beginning to emerge from the studio front door. They hadn't spotted her yet, but their coarse gestures and rough laughter frightened her. Briony pulled her scarf up over her hair and began to hurry. Aruna came to her flat in Kennington that night, and Briony was glad, because the next morning the abusive messages were still pouring in. At first, despite Aruna's protests, she read them, answered the more reasonable or supportive ones, deleted others, sobbed with rage, but on they came. Finally, Aruna made her suspend her Twitter and Facebook accounts and told her to avoid the internet altogether. She did read a blog piece Aruna found from a female politician who'd suffered similar attacks. "Eventually, the cyber trolls will tire and retreat to their lairs," the woman concluded. The advice was to stay strong. "It's all very well to say," Briony sighed. She wished her father and stepmother weren't on holiday. She could have done with a bolt hole. The staying strong strategy might have worked had not the furore been stoked by Jolyon Gunn himself. When she sneaked back online that evening, it was to find some stinging comments about her prudish appearance being the reason she was still single in her late 30s. His fans, thinking this hilarious, all joined in. "Prudish? When have I ever been prudish?" Briony gasped. Never mind Aruna's reassurances. This was unfair. It had been a quiet Easter for news, and the second morning after the ill-starred chat show she emerged, a bag of student essays in hand, to hear a man bellow, "Briony, over here!" She turned and was blinded by a camera flash. "Give us a quote."